Cute, shoot and loot. I was definitely on something when I came up with that title, wasn't I? There's an option where you can hide helmets, and for Parvati to do her ability you have to look at the enemy and activate it. Oh yeah, right, but you also have to have inspiration 20 to unlock that ability, so pressing it does absolutely nothing if you don't have inspiration. Yeah, every YouTuber I've seen has figured this out by himself. Come on, Gopher. Yeah, and I figured it out for myself too. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy is Gopher that the companions actually whisper when sneaking? I'd say about a 9. Well, I'm glad that Gopher isn't playing with companion permadeath, lol. Yeah, you and me both. I think now that I know the game well enough, I could probably keep the companions alive for a full playthrough, but it would probably involve just telling them to wait in certain spots. However, they do tend to suddenly rush at you after you speak to people, so I would have imagined I'd probably still have lost a lot of them, even being careful and putting all the skills in the correct place. I'd be curious to know if there's anyone who's ever got from beginning to end of the game on the toughest difficulty without losing a companion, without save scumming. I know you're much further ahead and you may have found this, but there is a UI setting where you can make the helmet on the companions invisible while still providing the protection. Yeah, I actually know that. In fact, I knew that before I started playing. It was one of the options I looked at, but I generally do not like that type of option in this sort of game at all. I don't like invisible helmets. I really don't. I think you should be able to see what you're wearing. I also prefer to have to make a choice between function and looks. So, for example, with Monty having to show his face to leave the mustache free, I like that kind of decision that you have to make. I'm also, to be honest with you, I'm amazed that you cannot take the headgear off your companions in this game. I don't see why you can't, for a start, but even with the whole invisible helmet thing, it's still unbelievably aggravating because it's for all companions. If I could have just turned it off for Parvati and said, alright, I'll make her invisible because she kind of looks wrong with headgear on, but left it on for some of the other companions, it would have been less annoying because some of the other companions I think would look awesome with headgear. I just didn't like it with Parvati. But you can't do it. It's an all or nothing. This magical stealth field for headgear is for all of the companions or for none of them. So it was kind of aggravating. But again, I don't see what possessed them to make a game where you could not take the headgear off the companions. It seems so backwards. I still don't understand why or how game makers take stupid decisions like this one. Why in heaven a companion cannot remove its helmet? Yep, totally and utterly agree with you. However, I agree it's dumb, but it doesn't really matter when you can toggle the visibility off settings. Yes, it does matter. Not everybody likes that kind of thing. You know, the wear armor, get all the benefits of armor, but don't get any of the downsides of it. Not everyone likes that, so it does matter. Gopher is going to have to revisit some locations when he picks up more quests. Is that a bad thing? There are game settings that let you hide player and companion helmets since they cannot be removed. Is this going to be like the Silas thing? There is an option to make the headgear for you. Yep, it's going to be like the Silas thing. Please someone tell Gopher that you can hide the helmet on both himself and his companions. Please somebody don't. But why would a game developer decide that helmets can't be removed? Yep, there is definitely a theme under each of the videos, isn't there? This episode is all about the helmets. Gopher, go into settings, you can turn on don't show helmets. So who wants to take bets on what episode he will figure out? There's an option to make the helmets invisible. Ooh, me. Let's hope Gopher eventually finds out that you can hide headgear. There's an option to make the headgear for you and your companion. I swear in some of these blind playthroughs it's almost embarrassing painful to watch Gopher seem so clueless. Right, well, you shouldn't watch blind playthroughs then, because being clueless is the whole point. You don't have any clues and you get clues and you learn it as you go along. He's so competent most of the time and then it's like his brains went to the loo for a month. I'm still I think I'm still a minion. Maybe I can give pointers on the forum. No, do not do that. Do not do that. Please do not try to bypass my desire to not read spoilers and hints and things like that by coming at me from a different angle. I really do not want that. Not spoilers, but things like, hey, look at the green letters on the skill panel. No, I know you're trying to be helpful, and I know you're thinking, oh, I'll just tell him this one little piece of information, it won't spoil it. But it's a sort of dangerous ground to be treading on, because everyone seems to have a different idea of what will and what will not spoil it for me. And I'm really the only one that can judge it. In this particular case, would that knowledge have ruined the game for me? Probably not. But I wouldn't have been able to figure it out for myself, and I actually enjoy figuring it out for myself. Sometimes stuff like that I'll figure out, and it won't be in the recording because I'll just be sat looking at the character screen in silence for a few minutes like most normal people do, but I'll figure it out, and I actually learn better that way as well. I completely relate to having a thing for revolvers. Okay, but let's keep this family friendly.